All right. We are going to continue our conversation about climate regions, and we're going to look at what different climate regions look like on the map. Okay. So today you are going to be exploring some Google Earth map locations so that you can see climates. And we're going to look at one location per climate region. So we're going to look at a polar location, we're going to look at a tropical location, we're going to look at a temperate location, and we're going to look at a desert location, okay? And we're going to see, what do these locations look like on the map? What can we see evidence of for the climate region, okay? So this is what we are going to do. We are going to work with your teacher. You're going to work in breakout rooms, and you're going to work independently, okay? So with your teacher, you are going to be discussing certain text features that will help you understand Google Earth's visuals, okay? Because Google Earth uses those text features as well. So here is our goal. Your goal today is to identify the major climate regions of the United States and explain their characteristics, okay? So you're going to be able to find them, that's the identify, and then explain their characteristics. We're going to talk about visual characteristics that we can notice with our eyes today, okay? These are some text features that might help you. When you open up Google Earth today, you're obviously going to see a map, okay? We know that maps show us locations around the world. You are also going to see some pop-out photographs and text boxes. Off to the side, the locations that I give you will have a photograph and a text box telling you some background information about that location. So these are some text features that will help you with Google Earth in your assignment today. All right? Do we have any questions about how to use maps, text boxes, and photographs? Questions about that? After reviewing your work yesterday, seemed like y'all had it down pretty pat, so that's wonderful. Okay. This is what you're going to be doing on Google Earth today, okay? As we're exploring Google Earth, I want you listening to what you hear, the noticings that are being made, because you're going to be expected to make some of the same type of noticings, okay? So here we are. This is how you will be using Google Earth today.
Today, we're going to take a look at the different climate regions using Google Earth. As you know, our standard is going to focus on the United States, but we'll quickly take a look around the world to see how visible climate regions are. Just looking at the United States, we can see a very clear difference between the western half and the eastern half. The closer east we get, we see more and more green. The green gets darker as we get closer to the water. Moving to the left on the western half, we see some of the same. Closer to the water, there are many green areas, but in the middle, we see large, vast brown. This is indicative of the fact that we have some desert region space inside of the United States. Over here, we see more of a temperate climate. This is going to be where rainfall can be steady throughout the year and temperatures are more mild. As we zoom back out, we can see some tropic regions as well. There are small parts of Florida which are considered tropic, as well as islands right off the coast which are not part of the United States, but are a great example of the tropical regions by looking at their coloration. If we want to see an Arctic climate inside of the United States, we have to travel all the way up here. It's actually connected to Canada, and it's called Alaska. When we look for Arctic regions, we're going to notice much cooler weather, so the map will show us white areas to represent snow and ice that has formed on the land inside of that region. Today, you're going to use Google Earth to locate 4 different areas within the United States that highlight different characteristics of the climate region. To take a look at a few examples, let's zoom in and see what we can notice about our home state of Indiana. As you notice, looking out, we can see that this has green regions. So that's already a good indication to us about the vegetation. We're definitely going to be finding some plant life here in Indiana. As we zoom even closer, we can see that the coloration begins to break apart. There are areas of denser green, which is indicative of the fact that we'll have more plant life than areas that are broken apart because of city living or different types of land. So overall, the color of this area is green. There's a good amount of plant life. Vegetation, as I zoom in, appears to be trees. I also notice in areas that there is lots of grass, and I'm seeing farming regions telling me that there can be crops that can be grown for food to eat inside of this area as well. The coloration also tells me about the weather. If I'm going to see green and I'm going to see many plants in an area, and I'm also going to see farming locations in that region, that tells me that this region must get rain in order to keep those plants alive with water. When I look at the ground, I don't notice any frozen areas that would be indicative of an Arctic region. I notice there's dirt and soil. I also see that there are trees. I can also notice that there are areas and sections of water, meaning that it rains enough for bodies of water to remain filled, such as lakes. And if we zoom out, we can even find some rivers around the Indiana area. South of Indiana, as we approach our lower border, you will notice that our border is actually formed by a large river. That river is called the Ohio River, and we can follow it all around the southern border of our state. This river provides water for the vegetation and also serves to prove that we live in an area that has enough rain to keep this water flowing. So you will notice that there are many different qualities that give you clues about the climate region that you are observing or that you are living in. Indiana is what we would call a temperate region. Today, you will be given 4 different locations inside of the United States, and you will be observing the vegetation, the plant life that you see, the coloration. What is the color of the area? What do you notice as you zoom in and take closer looks? Are there certain areas that appear to have plant life, and next to it, there's areas that appear to have dirt? Or, like Indiana, is it majority covered by green plants? As you look at Arctic regions, do you notice of the quality of land? What do you see? You will be recording your observations today.
All right, so we're going to work on one of these together. You're going to work on one in a breakout room, and then you will have some to complete independently. Okay, any questions so far? Yes, Aiden Hampton.
So how are we supposed to find locations that go to the place that she said?
Great question. I have them linked for you, so all you'll have to do is click on the link and it'll open up Google Earth to that place.
Okay.
Okay. William.
Nothing.
All right. Terrence.
So, what do we do about what are we supposed to do while we go to that place? Just look around or look at the questions?
We're getting ready to do one together, and then you'll be doing exactly that independently. So we'll do one as a model, so that should answer that question for you. Okay. Levin.
I don't have a link to Google Earth.
That is correct. I have not shown you where to find it yet.
I found it.
William.
Um, are we supposed to go explore Google Earth first?
You will get to explore, but we're getting ready to work on this part together. Okay, so since all the questions are about what are we doing next, let's go over that. If you have not already, please click on your activities light bulb on Seesaw. That will open up or refresh your page to be able to see the characteristics of climate regions. That's the assignment we're going to work on today. Okay. We have reviewed our success criteria. We've talked about text features. We've watched the Google Earth tutorial, and now we're going to add response and complete slide 2 about tropical Hawaii with your class. You will record noticings about vegetation, coloration, and the quality of land. So go ahead and click on that add response. Slide 1 is your goal. Remember, you have 2 goals today: to be able to identify or find or locate major climate regions and explain their characteristics. So what do you notice and observe about the qualities of that region? Okay. On slide 2, this is the one that we are going to complete with your teacher. It says we are going to visit tropical Hana, Hawaii, and you are going to click the link and explore the location. So go ahead and do that, kiddos. Click on that link right here. That will open you up to Hana, Hawaii, and I'm going to give you a few minutes to explore. Google Earth does take a long time to load because there's a lot of data and information. So you'll notice mine is still loading. There we go, it's come up. So go ahead and take a few moments, click on that link. It will open it up and explore. Take a look around, zoom in, zoom out, look around. What do you see? What do you notice? Alrighty, you've had some time to explore. You're going to get plenty of time today, plus all of your independent work time. I know that this is exciting, so I wanted to honor you by giving you that time. And now I'm going to ask that you honor me by making sure you're sticking in with our instructions so that you do not get behind, okay? So let's go back to our seesaw. We've clicked the link and we've explored the location. Now it says use your observations to record noticings about each of the categories below. We have 3 categories that we're going to record information about. Vegetation. What plant life do you notice? Okay, so as we're zooming in and out and looking around, what kind of plant life do we notice? Okay, we talked a little bit about how we can see palm trees. Okay, we can definitely tell from the shadow here, this is a palm tree. So the trees are different than what we would find in Indiana. So there's some palm trees. I also noticed that it is very, very green, okay? Even there's sections of land where there's not neighborhoods. It's just super green. Look at all the different shades of green that we can see, okay? So tons and tons and tons of green. We also notice that there are sections that appear to be like forests. So we have large sections of trees. We also have large sections of grass. Okay, so we're going to record these noticings together. Get a text box ready on Seesaw. What plant life do you notice? Well, we talked about how there are palm trees. Palm trees are different than what we would see inside of other locations, and typically we see palm trees in tropical locations only. We also notice that there are forests. So if I am recording, you are recording. Make sure you are on the vegetation section of slide 2 for tropical Hawaii. Okay, so we have palm trees, we have forests, and I am looking at screens right now. Christopher and Josh and Camille, you need to get with us on Seesaw, please. Awesome. Elijah's got what we have typed. Steve has what we have typed. Sin Q has what we have typed. Aiden G has what we have typed. Awesome. You are typing what I am typing. If you are only putting palm trees, you are not telling me what plant life you notice. You're telling me one thing that you see. Okay, so we have palm trees, forests. We also have large sections of grass. Large sections of grass. Okay, so I'm not just putting one thing because I didn't only see one plant. I saw lots of different types of plant and styles of plant. Okay, so you should be doing the same. We have palm trees, we have forests, we have large sections of grass. Awesome, thank you for catching up. Looks like most of us have done so. All right. Coloration, what is the overall color of the area? So let's go look back at Google Earth. And if I zoom out to be able to see Hannah here, now there are two large colors that I see. I see lots of blue, representing that there is a large section of water, and I see lots of green, representing there are lots of plants. So when I look at the area of Hana, Hawaii, it's not only blue. There's also an ocean right next to it. And typically that is true of tropical areas. Tropical areas are usually around larger bodies of water, okay? So we want to record both of those colors that we see. So what is the overall color of the area? There is blue, which represents the ocean. And there is also green, representing plant life. Okay, so I'd like for you to also include what you think the colors represent. All right. Any questions about vegetation or the coloration so far and why I've recorded the information I've recorded? Aiden Hampton?
It's not a question, but those are good. Those are good answers that you found.
Well, thank you for the encouragement, sir. Terrence, a question?
No. I got the green plant, like green plants. Take a chance off.
All right, William, nice song. Okay, here we go. So we have coloration, we have vegetation. Now we're going to take a look at quality of land. What do you see on the ground? Do you see ice, soil, dust, sand, grass, water? What do you see? So for this one, we're going to have to zoom in pretty close to be able to see the ground. Out here, I can see the whole area, but it's hard to know what's going on the ground, okay? One thing that I can tell as I look out here is it looks like there are some areas that are higher than others. So I might have some hills, okay? So that might be one thing I record. Well, let's zoom in so we can see this ground really closely, okay? What do I notice on the ground? Now we want to talk again about what is natural, okay? Not how has man changed. So we're not going to put houses because those aren't the ground, okay? That's not what the land is like. That's what people have put there, but that's not how it was naturally, okay? So we're not going to do houses, we're not going to put roads because that is not the quality of land, okay? We're looking at what is the land like on the ground, okay? What I do notice are lots of trees. I notice there are grass areas. Looks like down here, there might be some like kind of smaller plants. Okay, I'm gonna keep going around and see what I notice. More trees. Oh, look at that. That looks like a large section of soil. So there's definitely dirt. I can definitely see brown dirt. So there's soil for sure. Coming out here. Okay, just some more like plant life, some more grass. Looks like this might have a little bit more dirt because it's a little bit more brownish green. So we can see soil. All right. Okay, let me see if I can zoom out here and see anything more that, oh wow, look at this. This looks like a large section of that. And oh wow, look, yeah, look at how much higher this is. This comes up. So there's some hills in there as well. Okay, I think I've got enough. Let's go ahead and record that on quality of land. We're going to get a text box and put it here in quality of land. What are some things that we notice? We notice that there is soil. We notice that there is grass. And I'm going to go ahead and include that there are some hills, some hill areas as well. So there's soil, there's grass, there's hills. And then I didn't see on the land, I didn't see any like lakes or rivers. I just saw the large ocean. But remember, the ocean isn't the land, okay? That's a separate area from the land of Hawaii. So I want to look just at the land sections. And yeah, I'm not, oh, wait, what's this? Is this water? Let's zoom in and see. Oh no, as I got closer, look, that's shadows of trees. See why it's important to zoom in? Because we might think we see something from far away that kind of looks like a lake, but as we got closer, it wasn't. So yeah, not a lot of lakes, not a lot of rivers. Maybe, ooh, let's see here. What could this be? Nope, that's dirt. Look, all the way out here, it looks like a river. I thought for sure there was water in that, and there's not. So yeah, not a lot of water on this land, soil, grass, and hills. Okay. So this is what you are going to complete in a breakout room. I'm going to give you a new location. You're going to look at the plant life, which is called the vegetation. You're going to look at the coloration. What colors of the area do you see? And you're going to look at the quality of the land, okay? That's the ground, not things that humans have put on it, but what is naturally on the ground, okay? Terrence, a question.
So, we're gonna try and we're just gonna do 3 things. We can't, so it has to be at least 3.
You're going to answer 3 questions about the vegetation, the coloration, and the quality of land. I want you to try to notice more than one thing for each of these. Okay, so for coloration, I didn't just put green because when I looked at the map, I also see there's a large section of blue near Hana. So I'm telling it's by an ocean. Okay, so what do you notice? I want you to try for more than one thing on each one. Okay. Aiden Hampton, a question?
There's volcanoes in Hawaii, right?
So there are, but did you see any around Hana?
Yeah, I think I saw by the hill by Hana. I think I saw a volcano.
Right here?
Yeah, about like 2 feet away from that, the location mark.
Right here?
No, the other way. Yeah, and then zoom in somewhere. Was it? Remember where we found the hills?
So that was out a bit.
Yeah.
So we had some hills right over here. Yep. Okay. So I am not seeing any volcanoes near Hana, but you are correct that Hawaii does have volcanoes. Okay. So that might be near another area, but we want to stay closer to the location that's been pinned for Hana. Okay. But you're right. That's good background knowledge connections. Okay. Kiddos, I'm getting ready to set you into a breakout room. Go ahead and move to slide 3 for me. Now, here's what I recommend, okay? I'm going to recommend that now that we are done with Hana, Hawaii, you click the X. Google Earth takes a lot of internet power, and if you have Hawaii opened and you're about to open up Tennessee, your internet is going to get very, very slow, okay? So X out of that other Google Earth so that when you click on this link for Tennessee, That's the only one open, and your internet won't be as slow. Okay. All right. So I am going to put you into some breakout rooms. When you get into your breakout room, you are going to click on the link right here for temperate Tennessee. So this is in a temperate climate region, and you're going to answer those same 3 questions about what you notice here. Okay. So let me get those set up. Okay, in your breakout rooms, you should have been able to track temperate Adams, Tennessee, some things that you noticed, okay? I am going to ask you to share out things that you noticed. We've done this before. It might get a little awkward as we overtalk each other, but try to just be careful and not do that. If you hear someone else talking, don't unmute. All right, vegetation. What plant life do you notice in temperate Tennessee? What did you guys find? Go ahead and unmute and share, and then mute again very quickly.
I saw a lot of plant life. I saw a lot of trees and grass and some farmland, so soil, some soil. Farmland.
Okay, what more?
Crops.
Anything more? It's a pretty good list right there. All right. Okay, coloration. What is the overall color of the area? Even looking at this little picture right here, I see way more than just green. What are colors that you see? Go ahead and
Green
unmute.
land and brown crops.
Yeah, so green, it looks to be some grass. Brown, it looks to be some crops. Anything more? All righty. What about the quality of land? As you guys zoomed in, what did you notice on the ground? What did you see?
Soil and flat land.
Soil, the land was flat.
Soil, grass, and mainly that's it. We didn't see any dust, sand, or water.
Okay. Anything more? Okay. So this is what you are going to complete today independently with 2. You're going to look at the Arctic by taking a trip to Valdez, Alaska. You are also going to be looking at a desert that is in Arizona at the Kofa National Wildlife Refuge. Okay, so you're going to take a look at the Arctic and the desert. Remember, I want to see more than 1-word answers. Okay, so I don't just want to see white. Okay, if it's white, what does that mean? What does that represent? What do you see as you look around? I see more than just white right here. What's going on down here? Okay, so adding in some detail to your answers for the vegetation, the coloration, and the quality of the land, the ground as you zoom in. Okay, so for independent work today, you will complete slide 4, slide 5, and as always, you have a success criteria to review. You are asked to use the microphone to record yourself explaining one way you can tell climate regions are different. So what is a difference that you notice between the climate regions? How can you tell them apart? Okay, that is your work for today.